Hello story lovers, and welcome to our magical story corner. Are you ready for an adventure? Today, we're traveling way back in time to a land filled with giant trees, sparkling rivers, and dinosaurs. Get comfy and let's begin our tale. The Two Little Dinosaurs. Once upon a time, long ago, in a bright green jungle that stretched as far as the eye could see, lived two very special little dinosaurs. One was a tiny blue dinosaur named Dee. He had big, curious eyes and a bouncy little tail. The other was a small green dinosaur named Rot. He had a friendly smile and loved to explore. Diddy and Roro weren't just friends. They were the bestest of best friends. They did everything together, from chasing butterflies to tasting the sweetest leaves at the top of the short, yummy bushes. Every morning, as the sun peeked over the giant ferns, Dee would stretch his little blue legs, look up at the towering trees, and say with all his might, Roro, "I have a big dream. I want to roar just like the big dinosaurs." He would puff out his chest and try to make a mighty sound. Roro, his green friend, would laugh and join in. "Me too, Dee. Let's practice root." But instead of a booming roar that shook the leaves, their little voices would let out a tiny, squeaky sound, more like reek. They would look at each other, their little dino eyes wide, and then burst into giggles. They'd roll around on the soft, mossy grass, laughing until their tummies hurt. Being small was fun, but they dreamed of being big and loud. One sunny afternoon, while they were playing their favorite game of hide-and-seek near the sparkling river, Diddy spotted something unusual nestled among the smooth, grey stones. It was round and white with little speckles. "Roro, come quick. Look what I found." Roro scampered over, his little green feet making soft thuds on the ground. They both peered at the object. It was a dinosaur egg, all by itself. "Oh no," whispered Dee, his voice full of concern. "It's lost. Its mama must be so worried." Roro nodded, his friendly face looking very serious. "We have to help it, Dee. We must find its family." So their new adventure began. They decided to carry the egg to a higher place where its mama might see it. Dee gently pushed the egg with his nose, while Roro guided it from the other side with his tail. It was heavy for two little dinosaurs. Step by careful step, slow, they rolled the precious egg away from the riverbank. They were so focused on keeping the egg safe that they did not notice the sky above them was changing. Suddenly, the bright blue sky turned a dark, stormy grey. The wind began to howl through the tall trees, and a big, booming sound echoed through the jungle. Boom! It was thunder. Rain started to pour down, making everything wet and slippery. Dee shivered, not just from the cold rain, but from fear. He looked at the giant dark clouds and felt very small. "Roro," he whimpered, "I'm scared. The storm is so big and we're so little. I'm too little for this." Roro, seeing his best friend was frightened, moved closer and gently held Dee's tail with his own. "It's okay to be scared, Dee. he said softly but firmly. But listen to me. Little dinos can be brave too. He stood tall, protecting the egg with his body. We just have to be brave together. Dee Dee looked at Roro, then at the little egg they were trying to save. He took a deep breath. Roro was right. They stood side by side, shielding the egg from the wind and rain, holding on to each other until, slowly, the rain stopped, the thunder faded, and a beautiful, colorful rainbow appeared in the sky. Just as the last raindrop fell, they heard a rustling sound in the bushes. A very, very big dinosaur with kind eyes came running towards them. She looked worried, but her face lit up when she saw the little speckled egg. "My egg," she exclaimed, her voice full of happiness and relief. She gently nudged the egg with her nose. "I was so worried. Thank you, little heroes. You saved my baby." Dee Dee and Roro looked at each other and smiled the biggest, proudest smiles of their lives. The mama dinosaur thanked them again and then carefully carried her egg back to her nest. As they watched her go, Dee Dee and Roro felt a new feeling inside them. It wasn't just happiness, it was pride. They had been scared, but they had been brave. They had been small, but they had done a big, important thing. That day, they learned a wonderful lesson. You don't have to be big to be brave. You don't have to be loud to be strong. And most importantly, having a friend by your side makes everything, even a scary storm, a little bit easier and a lot less lonely. Feeling full of confidence, Dee Dee looked at Roro. "Let's try it again," he said. They both took the deepest breath they could, puffed out their chests as far as they would go, and let out a mighty roar. Ruah. And this time, it wasn't a squeak. It was louder, stronger, and full of courage. It was the roar of two little heroes. And so, Dee Dee and Roro continued their adventures in the big green jungle, knowing that even the smallest dinosaurs can have the biggest hearts. The end. I hope you enjoyed our story today. Remember, just like Dee Dee and Roro, you have a brave and strong heart inside you too. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to join us for another storytime adventure very soon. Bye for now.